this is your IELTS speaking test. My name is Andrew, and I will be taking you through your examination. Can you please tell me your name?
My name is Minh.
Fantastic. Right, cool. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you some questions about yourself, and you can do your best to answer them. Okay. Can you tell me whether do you work or are you a student?
I'm a student now in high school, in grade 10.
Great. My next question is, do you have any future plan?
I don't have any. I think my future plans is to be work on technology. It's my hobby, but I found it hard because at school, it's not really easy for me to study well on technology.
Okay, thank you very much. How long have you been learning English?
I've learned it for a very long time, about 7 or 8 years. I can't understand well, but I studied when I was very small.
Fantastic, thank you. What skill would you like to improve most in English?
I think I would want to improve speaking because my communication skills is not really good. It has to be improved much in the future.
All right, great, thank you. New question. We're going to talk a little bit about where you live and some things around that. Okay, do you live in a house or an apartment?
I live in a house. It is in the suburb of Hanoi. However, my area is so busy with many people live there.
Very good, thank you. Right, we move to the next question. Tell me about your dream house.
I think my dream house is a eco-friendly house. I want to protect the environment and
Relax. Okay, you can relax a bit, don't worry. Okay, you're doing well. Okay, cool. So we need to move on to the next section. So actually, I want to ask you one more question. Okay, do people in your country prefer living in an apartment or a house?
I think in the past, people prefer living in house, but now they like living in apartment more because the price to buy a house is so expensive. It's not very easy for everyone to buy.
I agree. Do you think you will live in another country in the future?
I want to live in Vietnam because I think my skills is not good enough, and I want to live near a family.
Very good. You know that if you live in a country that if you're learning a language, one of the fastest ways to learn is to be in a country that speaks the language. So if you want to learn, like, for example, Vietnamese, you learn it quite quickly while living in Vietnam. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's have a look at the next one. What we'll do now is we're going to go part 2. For part 2, you have 1 minute to prepare for a couple of questions, and after that you'll have about 1 to 2 minutes to talk about it at length. Okay? Are you ready?
Yes.
So here is your topic. Your topic says, describe a book that you have enjoyed reading because you had to think a lot. What this book was, why you decided to read it, what reading this book made you think about. Can we go over the questions? So, what book did you read? Why? So it can be any book. It can be, let's say, a fantasy book. It could be a book or it could be a textbook. Perhaps a book that you study with at school. I'm sure you study many textbooks.
Yes.
So it can be any book. Any book that made you think a lot. Alright? Do you feel more prepared? You can use the paper to write down notes, yeah? Okay, I'll give you an extra minute. Alright, you've got 1 minute to talk about your topic. 1 to 2 minutes.
The book and enjoy reading is my literary textbook. And there are many writings in this book. I have to think a lot to know about the content of writings.
Well, what are some of the stories about?
Story can be, there are many topics of story like
Is this a book that you study with?
yes,
Where do you study this book?
I studied at school and
Do you know who wrote the book?
sorry, can you say it?
Do you know who the author is? It's okay if you don't. Tell me, is it for English literature or is it for Vietnamese literature?
It's for Vietnamese literature and
So, what makes you think? Like when you read this book, what types of things do you have to think about?
I have to think about talk to or the act of the character of this book.
Alright, cool. Thank you very much. What we'll do is we'll just stop there, so don't worry. We're going to move to the next section. Okay. Well, what we're going to do is we're just going to extend on that. So, what type of children books are popular in Vietnam? What children's books are popular in Vietnam? What books do children at school like to read?
I think the most popular book for children is comic book. And when they read this type of book, they don't have to think much about the content. And this kind of book is very interesting. That can make them relax after a day at school.
Okay. How popular are electronic books in Vietnam?
Now people reading book online very much, reading book online much, and I think electronic book now is more and more popular.
Right, thank you. So what we're going to do is we're just going to wrap up with that. Right, thank you very much. Right, it's all done. Thank you.